the recipient of the inaugural College of Business Teaching Fellowship. Most recently, Celina has been recognized as the inaugural Accounting Circle Teaching Fellow in the School of Accountancy. As a measure of impact of her former students and members of the community, I received scores of emails from alumni applauding the announcement of Celina Josie as the Accounting Circle Teaching Fellow in the School of Accountancy. Not much longer. Every semester, Celina engages in a number of activities that directly and indirectly improve her effectiveness as a teacher. She has been a frequent presenter at CPE seminars in the Tampa Bay area and throughout the state. These seminars, attended by CPA professionals, are always received with great enthusiasm. She has served on scores of committees at the department, college, and university levels. In addition, she has served as past president of Beta Gamma Sigma, the National Honorary Business and Professional Society, and was recognized for outstanding service to that organization. Finally, she was recognized as the Hispanic Woman of the Year in Education for Tampa Bay. In sum, I strongly recommend Celina Josie for the Undergraduate Teaching Award. Her consistently superior teaching evaluations and the continual positive feedback from her present and former students are proof of her excellent teaching. I cannot think of any other instructor in the College of Business who is more worthy of this award.
Here, here.
BS, she got it. There are a few close friends of Celina on the faculty who unfortunately could not. I was still considering a major in accounting at that point, and being in her class solidified my decision. Her enthusiasm and love for both accounting and teaching was evident in her classes and inspired me to continue on with the accounting major. During my time as a student at USF, I often went to her office for help and for career advice. She was always willing to help and took a personal interest in me as an individual. She even called me at home when my youngest daughter was born in 1994 to see how I was doing, while she was sitting in a hospital room with her father. At the time, it meant a lot to me that she was thinking of me even during a time in her personal life that was so difficult. I continued my friendship with Celina throughout the years after I graduated and would always call her to ask career advice when I was considering a change. She was always willing to talk with me, and as you all know about Celina, she will always give you the brutal truth. As many of you know, my husband passed away in 2004. I had not spoken to Celina in at least a year before that time, so she knew nothing of his illness. At his funeral, I clearly remember kneeling in the pew, and at one point I looked up and Celina was standing next to me. I was so surprised to see her and asked her why she was there. Her response was, "I have to come." I will never forget that moment or how much it meant to me at such a sad time in my life. When I was hired to teach at USF, I was excited and petrified all at the same time. To now be working with many of the professors who had taught me and developed me professionally was such an honor, but it was also incredibly intimidating for me at first. Celina immediately offered me assistance in whatever I needed, including preparation, exam writing, and teaching strategies. I truly believe I would not be the teacher I am today if it had not been for Celina's guidance. Thank you, Celina, so much for everything. I will miss seeing you at USF, but I know this is not goodbye. We always manage to keep in touch. I will forever be grateful to you for your guidance and friendship.
The highest bid for lunch. $50, right? Is that where it started? So I said $75. Bill Pepp, I don't know if he's here. But anyhow, his gang was there, the real golfers were there. And they said 100. I said, well, I'm going to scare these guys right out of the thing. 200. They said 300. I said 400. I looked around, there was nobody but me. And so it was the most expensive lunch. I don't remember how high it went, but you know, she's a deer and it went really high. For those of you that don't know me, I retired last year and I was going to mind my own business, but she is the kind of person that takes care of strays. And I was like a stray, okay? How many of you would raise your hand and say you were straying with her too? She single-handedly got Dean Moaz to make me a executive in residence So now I have a job. Go figure, I wasn't looking for it. But I'd like to get more serious, if I may. I am so glad that I was asked to make a few remarks tonight so I could share with you the top 10 reasons we could never, ever love Celina Josie. Number 10, she has such a strong New York accent. Number 9, she can never find a cause to champion. Number 8, she is not at all passionate about her work. Number 7, she is so politically savvy. Number 6, students avoid her classes at all costs. Number 5, she lacks compassion. Number 4, she fails in everything she does. Number 3, she totally lacks energy and enthusiasm. Number 2, she has no rapport with people. And number 1, I wish I had a drum roll, she is the only person in this room taller than me.
Back to where did you start with Celina? Well, there's a few people here. In 1977, that were in my class with her. Ollie Faustini. I don't see Tina Johnson, but she had a different last name, and so did Celina. She wasn't married yet. But I remember I was a chemistry major, converted to accounting, and first class, and I'm going to do this right-handed, I'm left-handed, but y'all can relate, I'm 6'3", so you gotta put the chalkboard way up here, but she's writing right-handed and erasing left-handed. I learned to take notes really fast. But anyway, that was a pretty competitive class, as you could tell. We look around the room and say, who's going to get the highest grade, and it was very competitive. And thank God we didn't have Steve Osher and the like in the back of the room. He had cleared the way for us. But anyway, Tina and I slugged it out, along with Ollie. But some of the things that stood out, I don't know about y'all, but she can push. She can find the best in you. She can push you to levels you don't think you can do. That's what we can't say no. Now, speed forward a few years, and she did come to my wedding, and Jody's not here tonight. She wanted to be here, and she was stuck in her business, so she's sorry. But it was amazing that we stand up in Bradenton, and there's Celina and Bill Stevens. It made it, we're like surprised. Here they are. Then go forward 27 years. We have a son going to USF. We were trying to tell him anything but accounting, please. And he's great at arguing, and we said, you gotta be an attorney. Hang out with Osher a little bit more, maybe you can slide into law school. And I'm not meaning to pick on Steve, a good friend, but we all know that. So Celina takes her under her wing. And I said, would you please tell me whether or not he can really make it? And she calls me back and said, absolutely. And so he listened to her. He wouldn't listen, I don't know about y'all that have kids, but they never listen to mom and dad, blah, blah, blah. But it takes a faculty member to really inspire them and push them. It's too personal. What you do for somebody and what you do for their next generation is amazing. So thank you.
And there was a young lady who became the head of Beta Alpha Psi for that period of time. And it was interesting that that particular time period, Beta Alpha Psi got their very first Superior Award. And Bill came back and said, no shit. So, I mean, this is a lady who we've talked about what she's done today, and we know that it goes back many years, and those accomplishments have started. thinking back, she's seen 5 presidents. You've seen 5 deans. You've seen 5 directors. One was the chairman, right? And I've seen 2 wives. And, and 4 accounting firms. And our lives have changed. But I think the point somebody was saying to me, we were talking about coming tonight and Celina's event. And one of the things that we all said was, what a big difference this lady has made on so many of us and so many lives. And it just, there are thousands of students, literally, who owe their careers to Celina. And obviously you're here, and this is where you cry. But when I was thinking that there were thousands that owed their careers to you, I was also thinking that most of them, or many of them, aren't even in accounting because they took your intermediate class. And they said,
I said she'll tell you what she really thinks, but sometimes, you're human, right? Sometimes you need a translator, because she'll say something like, oh yeah, that person's really nice. So then take human time. You find out what nice means. It means not intelligent, you can't execute.
Privacy.
Oh, yeah. Just, you can't say anything nice. Say they're nuts. So, while we joke, and it's true, about your stature, we all look up to you. And I start with the students. When I recruit on campus, I meet so many students. And when I ask them, have you taken Celina Josie's class? And they say yes, and they say I took her again and again, they're hired, right? Because you know they're hardworking. You know they're gonna just run through walls for you and have that passion that's just contagious from working with Celina. And it's kind of success by association. And a lot of us here have success by association with Celina. And it's your colleagues in this room, the colleagues at school, in the business community, that we're all here for a reason. And I think it's just mutually really love it together. And all the things that Uday mentioned about the giving back to the community in terms of teaching us as practitioners and CPE days. If you ever read your resume, it's like a book. It just goes, that speech was like nothing compared to all the bullet points of accomplishments. But they weren't done because I wanted to fill out a resume. So, and the students, when students come back from a trip overseas, abroad, just their eyes light up when they talk about all the things they did for 25 hours a day. Never stopped. So, thank you, I guess is the way to sum it up. Thank you for being a friend, personal friend, a colleague, a mentor, and all the things that make us. Thank you.
Bringing it back to the faculty, Terry Engel, to college committees, to being officers and representatives in accounting organizations at the local and national level. You know, we need to get our students placed. We need to have adequate resources, okay? So all of these things are sort of like behind the scenes. Students don't see it. And quite frankly, you know, a lot of people that are hiring our students don't see it. But all of these things have to work in tandem if you're going to have a truly great school of accountancy. Now, we know about her extraordinary teaching accomplishments, but I can assure you that for the 31 years that I have been here, I've seen her work tirelessly day in and day out in all aspects of what it takes to be a truly great school of accountancy. Whether it be, and I've seen it time and time again, taking her nights and weekends to tutor her students that maybe are having a little bit of a tough time with her very, very, very difficult classes, but she will spend the time with them as long as it takes, okay, until they get it. To spending her nights and weekends away from her husband over here so that she can build long-standing relationships with people that are on the FASB, the PCAOB, other accounting standard-setting boards, the leaders of the major accounting firms and corporations in the Tampa Bay area. Well, why is she doing it? Because it's the piece of the puzzle that she knows that it takes to be a truly great school of accountancy. Now, Uday told me that I only have a minute, so I'm going to close by simply saying that, in this world, there's a whole bunch of good accounting professors. But great accounting professors are very rare indeed, and you're looking at one.
I guess if I had to say one thing about her, over the years, she has been the conscience of the School of Accountancy. Good luck.
We have the same kind of dolls, but she would take the shoes and the socks from the dolls, and I would get upset, and of course we left each other. But when we were very young, we had to face something we had never expected in our lives. And at 9 years old, my parents brought up to me the notion that we would have to, basically we had to leave Cuba. And what many of you may not know is that both she and I came as children. I was 10, in charge of her who was 8, and not really in charge of her. Nobody can really be in charge of her. And we came by ourselves, not knowing if we would ever see our parents again. The reason I bring this up because it took a lot of courage for us to do that. I wanted to know I had a nickname for her because I used to be in the crib and I was 20 months older and I would call her a certain nickname that I won't mention, but it's like a little baby kind of thing. So Nene. I called her Nene. Well, when we first arrived in the United States, I took her by the hand. I knew somebody would be waiting for us, and at that point, with dolls in hand, I no longer called her Nene. I called her Celina. And I have always called her Celina since then. Because at that point, yes, I became an adult, so did she. And this fiery person and believing in everything that we stand for is part of our tribute. And I would like to pay a little tribute to our parents, who are both gone, but who fought so hard for our education. My sister and I lived in the housing projects, and we went to the Academy of the Holy Names. We were probably the only Cuban kids in Tampa at that time that we both got master's degrees at USF with a lot of sacrifice and scholarships and a lot of work, but without owing a penny when we graduated. And we owe that to our parents. We owe our values, our integrity, and a lot that you see at the product that she is. I am very proud to have her as my sister. We have been through thick and thin, times when we thought we'd never see our parents again. And through all that, we never held back. It's like we were going to make it somehow, that drive that we've always had. I was delighted when she met my brother-in-law, because I said, well, now she's going to get settled. And happily, I can call my wonderful brother-in-law after 37 years of marriage. And I have my niece over there and my nephew, Carlos, who's unfortunately could not make it due to incredible circumstances. A little school up above. He's here engaged up there. He's just in law school. He's 30 years. They started already. But anyway, this is my family. I just want to share that I love my sister very much, and we'll be together. We have been together through everything, and we will continue to be this. Congratulations.
different perspectives in terms of what, you know, Celina Josie how she has impacted my life. It's just in a variety of different manners. I mean, acting as a mother, she kind of guided me, you know, whether I liked it or not, to you know, focus on students too. Yeah, so I feel like I can relate a lot to the students. You know, whether I took her class or not. Did sit in one class. I don't know how any of you did it. Even though I also am an accounting major, but at the unnamed school up north. You know, it's just amazing to me growing up in elementary, middle school, high school. Even when I thought I was done with, you know, my homework, she was just starting prepping for her lessons and everything else. It's just amazing to me how much she cares. And, you know, it was just weekends, and yes, I may have graded some of your exams as well. But, you know, she sits there, she's like, look at we're a point here, and E here. But it's only because she really, truly cares, and she would just get so fired up and passionate about accounting. And I just, you know, I thought, okay, well, either, you know, she really likes accounting. There's something amazing about accounting. So, you know, she helped guide me, not, you know, in my professional career as well, and kind of guiding me just throughout my life. And I don't know kind of, you know, how to sum up and describe everything that she's accomplished, because it's either, you know, as everyone has said, it's peer, mentor, coach, you know, just everything. And the only thing I can say is that I personally would not have asked for a more powerful mentor and mother than my mom, just, you know, professionally, just her background and everything else. And just in case you guys didn't know, the second career that she's talking about, the recent study abroad trip, is going to be a traveling trip. Going to South America and Europe. And I know that everyone that went on those trips loved it, so, you know, sneak peek into the second leg, but congratulations, and, you know, I'm sure, of course, you're going to succeed.
The professors in this room know that we are only we're only agents of education, we're only conduits. This tonight should really be about honoring all of you, because you are the success. And I cannot believe what I'm hearing, because it's not about me, it's about you. You've inspired me, you've pushed me, and you've made the impact on everyone else in your lives. So I really thank you so much for that, the success that I see around this room. I can associate an experience and a story with everyone in this room, and I could start here and go around, but I'm just overwhelmed by that. The fact that so many of you change your schedules. Steve told me he changed his travel schedule, that Pat came all the way from Sarasota, that Danny came from New York, happened to be here. That my family has put up with my shortcomings, and it's not just height. That I have had an opportunity to call on so many of you, Jeff and Bill Johnson and others, for South America and Europe for the study abroad. And you said yes, no matter what it took. The fact that I have been privileged to be able to present with someone like Jeff Sparley. The fact that so many of you were glutton for punishment and took me for more than one class. Kathy, where's Kathy? She holds the record, 6. She was always proud of that record. So I cannot thank you enough for all of that, for the many years that I was able to, as Uday said, and thank you for all of that.
Oh, yeah.
And for hosting this. It is such an incredible event. I will miss all of the recruiting lunches, dinners, events, happy hours, etc. All the way from Marina, and firms. I can think of so many of you that are my true friends. That's an incredible journey, and I hope that I never lose touch with you. USF has been gracious enough to be able to let me keep my email account. So that's wonderful, because I do like to talk with her. I don't know how to talk through social media, join LinkedIn a bit. And I just want to say thank you to all of my student assistants, to all of the partners, the managers, everybody, even the ones that took the initiative to clean my office, which was a daunting task as well. I do plan to stay in touch with the staff of the department and with my friends, Bob Walker's holiday parties, Terry Engel with coffee breaks. I'll have to come by and pay parking for that. And just so many other experiences that I cannot even, talk about. But the talent represented here hails back to so many decades. The 80s, Cheryl, Paulette, all of them.
The 80s.
The 90s and the 2000s, and I think the success of this program is the vibrancy of the program has always been so precious to me. Nancy came into my class. Jennifer, I wouldn't let too much, because she talked about how I threw erasers at kids, and she said, oh no. And to all of you who have spoken and everyone else, I can only say thank you, and please stay in touch. I'm just so grateful and humbled. I don't deserve this, so I thank you so much.